What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Ferg here, back again with another Call of Duty Mobile video, and in today's video we're going to be carrying on here on the highlights channel with something that I actually did on my main channel. If you guys haven't seen the video on the main channel, it's where I'm discussing spawn areas for learning how to predict where your enemies are going to spawn or where they're going to be located at throughout a game of Team Deathmatch. We're covering Team Deathmatch first, and then I think we'll go into Domination after, but on the highlights channel I'm going to be covering every single map, and then once I do that I'll shorten them all down into one very long, probably like a 30 to 40 minute video on my main channel. But if you're interested in learning all the in-depth places where people spawn and stuff for every single map, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications to be notified of when I upload a video like this, because I'm going to be trying to go through every single map over the course of probably the next week or two. Either way, the map that we're actually doing today is Crash. So without any further ado, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you guys are new, and let's get into this. So starting off at spawn point 1, the map is on the screen right now. You can see spawn point 1 is at the bottom left hand side of the map. You can see that there is 3 buildings pretty much all around each other. The back one, which is at the very bottom of the map, is just called Broken. That's because the second story to the right hand side of it has a broken roof on it. So a lot of people call it Top Broken, and then beside it is just the house that's connected to Broken, which is just Spawn House. You can actually spawn in here under the stairs. You'll see it on the screen right now. But the under the stairs part is where most people actually spawn in spawn point 1. I get a lot of kills out of just watching that kind of area. You can watch that area from the stairs, as you can see on the screen right now, which are just a little bit further down the course of the map. However, if you're holding that angle, you may die from Garage, which is another spawn point in spawn point 1. Garage is a pretty tight and compact area, but there is a spawn point in there. So if you're holding the stairs, you need to be pretty much closely watching Garage as well. If you have a UAV on, it won't be that hard, but if you don't have a UAV, you're going to need to slide up the stairs, check into Garage, and then slide back down again really quickly before you die from the spawn house. Also, the building that is to the right of Garage on the map, there's no way to get inside that building. It's just a dormant building. There's no like entryways or anything like that, but we'll talk about the alley a little bit here. So like I said before, there's the stairs there, but beside the stairs there's this long alleyway. It's very narrow, but it is long and it has 2 parts. So the first part, which is the left part right beside the stairs, you can actually go to the left of that and stay behind the stairs and wait for people to come down and shoot them as they're running into the next house, which is actually a really good place to spawn trap people because they don't normally check there. However, I wouldn't stand there for too long, because if you stand there for a long period of time, people are probably just going to kill you. I mean, they're going to know that you're there, so you need to be very agile about where you're kind of staying and jump around quite a lot between different spawn positions in order to get the best trap and prediction on your enemies in spawn point 1. If you go further down and you look to your right, you will see that there is like a little pocket area where there's a barrel, and you'll see in a lot of my videos or on my streams, if you watch them, that I usually stick behind that barrel as like a second place to go to if I'm feeling like people are going to shoot me when I'm on the stairs, or when I'm camping behind the stairs and waiting for people to come down. I will usually run down, go to the right, go behind the barrel, get another kill there, and then rotate around as well. Where I would rotate to would be out and around into the next house, which is just above the house that you can't go into. That's also called Broken. It's interesting because there's 2 places on this map that have broken roofs. So Spawn Broken or Top Broken, I would call Spawn Broken, and then this I would call Mid Broken. This is in no man's land, so nobody spawns inside of this house. This is an area where people will never ever spawn. There's no spawn points actually located here. It's just strictly NML, which is no man's land. There's 2 stories to this. Obviously the ground story, you can actually get sniped pretty easily when you're running past there in game modes like Search and Destroy. You can get wall bang straight through both of those walls. So if you're trying to go through that lower area or the lower region of that house, I would definitely slide through it to get through faster so you don't get sniped. Of course, this is only going to be a problem if you're playing ranked against really high players or pro players per se, but this is actually a really good house to watch B from if you're playing Domination as well. But we're talking about Team Deathmatch, and there's no spawn locations there. If you go further up the map, you're into Courtyard. Now Courtyard has a dumpster where you can watch the wall area, or the jump up wall as I call it. It's just called jump up, where people can jump up from both sides, whether you're on the other side or the side that you're looking at. Then further around, you see that there is a car. It's kind of blown up and stuff. You can also watch over the majority of no man's land from there as well. And then if you go further over, right beside the 3-story, there is the air conditioning units. You can camp right behind them. You can't shoot through them or anything. There's actually a fence in your way as well, so if you have FMJ on, it will make you even more of a harder target, because the likelihood of somebody coming around that corner while you're staying there with FMJ is pretty low. We'll go into the 3-story next. You see the 3 stories right here. Obviously 3-story stands for 3 separate stories, which means 3 separate floors. So there's the bottom floor. There is like a cubby area in the bottom floor, I would call that kitchen cubby or something along those lines. Kitchen room, kitchen cubby, and then you go out into kitchen again, and right in front of you is the pocket. Now, why I call it the pocket is because it's a very short and small pocket of air where if you are weak and you need to get a breather, you need to get your health back, you can slide into that pocket and then you can slide right back out of it as soon as you feel like you're ready to challenge some more opponents if they are down towards the spawn point 3. Of course, if you move around and go up the stairs, that is floor 1 stairs, then you're up to floor 2. Floor 2 is interesting, and there's not really much you can do there apart from hide behind maybe the chairs as soon as you get up into floor 2, but after that, unless you're playing Search and Destroy, there's really nothing to camp behind. And of course, we're playing team deathmatch in this video, so you can't really hide behind anything. It's a very awkward place to be, especially with the windows right in front of you as well. You don't really want to be staying in floor 2. However, floor 2 stairs lead you up into floor 3, which is indeed the roof. The roof gives you, I believe, a 180 degrees angle almost. It's more like a 90 degrees angle, but if you can jump up, you'll be able to see even more of the map up on the AC unit. So we'll call it like a 90 degrees angle. It meets at a pretty decent spot. But you can see over the majority of no man's land, except for the building which is right in front of you where the jump up area is. There's also a ladder that you can go down as well. Wouldn't advise using that ever. The ladder's kind of stupid because you're exposed from everywhere. Lower down the ladder is the stair area, outside stairs. Right beside the outside stairs is the other side of the jump up spot. Now this is the dumpster spot. This is complete no man's land. This is a very, very good spot for you to hold. You can cover the back of the helicopter. You can cover the front of the helicopter from this area. You can also cover the majority of no man's land leading into spawn point 1 for team deathmatch, which is great because you can spawn trap people here. The only weakness of this spot is if somebody's camping at the broken top, the top of broken in spawn point 1, they're more than likely going to be waiting there for you and they're going to snipe you, which is super, super annoying, especially in Search and Destroy when you're trying to get through there really quickly. You're probably going to get sniped. But yeah, you can jump up from both the dumpster side and also the other side. We'll move down a little bit to the barrels now. You can see the barrels which lead you into spawn point 3. That's a good head glitch to stay in spawn point 3 for team deathmatch, because as you go through this map and as I tell you guys where spawn point 3 is, you will understand that it's a very good spot. Also, the stairs beside it, you'll see me using those in a lot of matches on Crash. A lot of matches I use the stairs quite often, especially in my streams, and that's a good area to cover spawn point 3. The building that you're actually beside there, you can't get into, unfortunately, so there's no reason for you to really go in there. But moving around into the middle of no man's land, after you've got past the pallets and stuff and the trash cans and the spawn point 3 red car and also the spawn point 3 green car head glitch, you're into no man's land. And there is 2 buildings here, which is pillars. They're okay, you can't shoot through them, which is nice. There's also the pillar pocket, which is a good place to catch a breather if you're trying to regain health or whatever. And then on the other side, you've got arches. Arches is terrible. If you run through arches, you're more than likely going to die. It's a really bad spot. It's in the middle of no man's land. There's no cover you can shoot through them. The only cover that there is, I think, is a sandbag and 1 barrel, so you don't want to be around there. There's also the archer's pocket, which is where the refrigerator and a couple of barrels are. This is an okay spot if you have a trophy system. If you don't have a trophy system, the likelihood of you getting blown up here is pretty high, and if the other team are using snipers, it's a bad spot also because you can see a little bit through in the refrigerator from distance. But either way, moving the whole way down to the other side of arches, that's L wall. Now, L wall's a pretty decent spot as well. I mean, I don't really have much to say about L wall other than the fact that you can also catch a breather here when you camp at the very corner of the L. Also, behind L wall is the L wall head glitch where you can go on top of the refrigerator, go on top of the barrel, and it's a really good spot as well. And then further up that alleyway up into spawn point 1, there's a couple of barrels and then another pocket. There's actually 2 pockets here. The pocket where you come up from and then the pocket to your left as you go up as well. And then of course in front of you is the red car, which is a really good spot to hold down spawn point 1. Unfortunately, if you get caught out in the open around here and there's a lot of people pushing you, if you're at that red car, you're probably gonna die because there's no real place that you can go to except behind you. And if you're exposing yourself from behind, you're probably gonna die running away from that area. And it's pretty far back. It's not like you can like slide out and jump. It's like a slide and a double jump you would need to get out of that situation, which is obviously not what you want. But anyway, going down to the other side of the long alley, that's what I call this, it's long alley, there is the no man's land truck. Now you guys may be thinking that this isn't no man's land, this is further towards their spawn, but when you really think about it, this is kind of like a middle ground of where enemies meet, especially considering that the spawn point for spawn point 3 is so up there towards the right hand corner that this is really a middle ground for where both sides kind of catch each other off guard, unless you're playing of course Search and Destroy where the spawns are different, same with Domination. But either way, going further down you'll see a lot of barrels out in the open, and then to your left you'll see the dumpster and the ladder. Now the ladder area, I just call it counter because on the lower portion of this building there's a counter, and if you don't know what a counter is, it's like a till or a register register. It's just like a flat bench almost. That's the counter area. You just call that room counter, then beside it, it's counter stairs. Up top is rug because there's a rug on the floor, or counter rug, and then outside is roof rug or roof counter, depending on what you want to say. Roof rug's probably easier to say, but roof counter sounds cool as well. Moving further down the alley though, outside of that building, you can see that there is like a blockade area and a couple more barrels. Then you reach the jungle portion of the map. Jungle is kind of obsolete in this map. It's almost like a derelict, non-used area, so I wouldn't really stay up there unless you're trying to snipe the whole way up through the long alley into spawn point 1. Now this is really good for the start of team deathmatch games because you can slide over there pretty quickly within the first 10 to 15 seconds and try and get a snipe off while people are running down long alley, so it's a good place for team deathmatch in that retrospect. But let's be honest, you're very far in between going to use this. You're never really going to use this kind of area. However, spawn point 3's truck is here, which is nice. It's a nice little place to kind of catch a little bit of health if you need it, but again, it's not really that good. Beside the truck, there's like a little pocket area as well, also pretty nice. In beside that is the courtyard area for spawn point 3. The other courtyard area we talked about was no man's land, but this is spawn point 3 courtyard area. There's an air conditioning unit, there's also a dumpster, and then there is the counter alley. I'm not really too sure what to call that. Maybe counter hallway you would call that area, but this place is really congested, especially if you're trying to spawn trap them from spawn point 3. So let's go ahead and actually talk about it. Spawn point 3 starts as soon as you hit the ladder for the ladder roof. Now, as you guys may or may not know, there's actually a ladder over there, and you can go on top of that roof, and you can basically skirt around the whole of spawn point 3 and a little bit into no man's land. This is pretty... It's an okay area, but it's not really that good, and you can't really find like a lot of angles to hold in no man's land, and that's what you're really looking for in team deathmatch, is finding a location where you can hold a lot of different varying angles, and this just doesn't have it. Beside that building on top, you can't get into, but it's still a spawn point 3 building nonetheless. You actually literally can't get inside it. It's just one of those buildings that you can't get inside. But over to the right of it, you've got the spawn point 3 second courtyard kind of area, and beside the actual spawn house. Now, this is a spawn house. You can also spawn in here beside the stairs. You can spawn outside in the alleyway beside it, and the alleyway is kind of annoying if you're spawning there because people, like I said before, can sit on the stairs near the 3-story and just scope in and shoot you as soon as you run out there, so I definitely wouldn't advise that. Then lower down again, and there's a couple of cars here. I believe there's a red car and a green car around this kind of area. But yeah, the spawn point 3 is probably the worst spawn on this side of the map. Spawn point 1's very good because you have height advantage. It's further up on top of the map in terms of elevation, and spawn point 3 is you're always being looked down upon, so people are always high up on like head glitches or behind barrels, behind cars, etc, and you really don't want to be around there. So if you can try and flip the spawns as fast as possible, that would be the best thing to do. The easiest way to do that is to go around the sides of the map, either through long if nobody's sniping, or you can go through the 3-story into no man's land's broken roof, and then further up around into the stairway, and then go up to spawn point 1 through there. Definitely don't go through the middle of the map in this game, because the middle of Crash is just a cluster. Like, it's just a cluster of commotion and chaos, and you don't want to be anywhere near that kind of area because that area sucks. But either way, I hope you find this informative. This is of course a highlights channel video, so if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure to do so. I'd appreciate it. I hope I covered basically everything that you would really need to know for team deathmatch. In order to actually understand where you need to set up for the spawns, remember, to cover spawn point 3, you need to go to the stairs, the barrel, the cars that I pointed out. You can also go to the truck and the spawn point 3 truck, but that might push them out a little bit too far. But if you're at the truck and nobody's really pushed into their spawn, they'll just spawn in the spawn house, which is just the house that we talked about, where you can go up the stairs and into the top of it. There's also the bottom area, there's the stair room, etc, and then of course they can spawn out in the spawn point 3 second courtyard and also in the alleyway, and then they spawn in jungle as well. But if you're at that broken truck, they won't spawn in jungle beside you. And for spawn point 1, if you want to hold them there, remember the stairs are a very good option. The red car is an okay option, but you might die there. And they can also spawn behind you in the red car where the second pocket is. They don't spawn in the first pocket of spawn point 1. I don't know why. They also spawn in the spawn house beside the stairs, and then the garage as well. They can spawn in there also. So the stairs and the red car are beside the second pocket, or you can actually go for the main road on this one. As long as you know that they're all spawning up there, I don't see the main road as being that much of a problem, because you can slide out and then take a couple of people out on the red car and then slide back into the alleyway. And then as soon as you get into the alleyway, there's probably going to be people coming down the stairs as well, so you can line up your shots on them. That's usually what I do. I usually stay around the main road. As soon as I get a kill there, I'll slide in to the alleyway, go onto the barrel. As soon as I see somebody coming through there, kill them off the barrel. If there's nobody else there and I have a UAV up, I'll move my way up to the stairs, go to the stairs. As soon as I get a couple of kills there, there, I'll fall back from the stairs and go into the little pocket beside the stairs, which is behind them, and then I'll keep doing that kind of circling rotation. But yeah, that's everything that you guys probably need to know. The 3 story is really good for covering the majority of No Man's Land, as well as the broken middle No Man's Land 2 story, which is also very nice. And then of course Counter is good if you are spawning in spawn point 3 to take on No Man's Land. But really, spawn point 1 has more angles to cover than No Man's Land, and it's also higher in elevation, so you really want to be going for spawn point 1 rather than spawn point 3. But either way, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to leave a like if you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below what map you want to see next. Subscribe if you guys are new, because remember, this is not my main channel. This is a highlights channel where I usually upload stream highlights, but I thought this would be a good informative way to give you guys some information on how to play certain maps, especially for team deathmatch, because the spawns are pretty crazy and chaotic. But yeah, hope you enjoyed today's video. I love you all, and without further ado, let's roll the outro. Bye!